Assalamu alaikum everybody.
Salam guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, Muhammad and I decided to do another What Would You Do, Omaya and Mo. And for today's topic, we have intercultural marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's popular.
Yes,
yeah.
And I'm not sure if we've touched on this subject before. If we have, it might have been something very light. But today we're going to actually give our advice to this young girl who's having some difficulties with intercultural marriage, or the idea of it. Okay. So let's get started.
Let's go. Okay, so here goes the email. Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum salam. I hope I've reached you in the best of conditions. I'll just go straight into it. I recently spoke with my parents about the possibility of having an interracial or multicultural marriage. My whole life I've been taught the difference are not barriers, and we must accept people for who they are, not where they're from or what they look like. I've grown up Canadian all my life, but lately whenever the topic of marriage comes up, my parents avert themselves from the conversation whenever I mention marrying outside our culture. I'm ethnically Pakistani, and my parents are very open-minded and accepting of different cultures as friends, but their Pakistani upbringing prevents them from accepting any other culture into the family. They see many issues with it. For example, my mom wants a relationship with my in-laws, which she believes will be impossible if they don't share our culture. My dad says that marrying outside the Pakistani culture will remove it completely from generations to come, meaning my future children will not experience our tradition or know our values. No matter how many darker-skinned people my parents are friends with and care for, they want fair-skinned grandchildren. I don't personally agree with any of the following. I just need your advice because my parents have left it open for me to let them know if I have someone in mind I would like to marry. I don't know what I would do if I found a righteous man whose only difference from me with his ethnic background. What would you do in this situation? How would you convince parents who strictly want a son-in-law who has the same cultural background as you, but you couldn't care less? How would you help them get out of that way of thinking? In the end, I just want my parents, my future husband, and myself to be content. Your positive attitudes make my day much brighter, and your challenges are hilarious. Stay beautiful and humble. May Allah protect you from error. Ameen. Aww, that's awesome. From Canada.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Okay, I'll let you. I'm gonna be very brief, and then I'll let Omaya kind of go. The thing is, it's hard enough finding someone that's nice and kind-hearted and humble and generous and all those good qualities, right?
Yeah.
But we start limiting ourselves, and not us, but past generations, honestly, mostly, are the ones that have this way of thinking, and they limit themselves to same culture, same background, same village, same. At the end of the day, you know, we go for Islam, right? And we try to go for a Muslim person, vice versa, a guy and a girl, right? I don't know personally why we have an agenda. Everyone should have a preference. There is no problem with that. Like if you like a Middle Eastern girl or a Middle Eastern guy, a Canadian, a black, a Hispanic, a European, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're not marrying the culture. I mean, you are essentially, but that's not a difference. It's not like you're losing yourself or you're gonna sell yourself, or if she's Pakistani and she marries.
If anything, you're sharing.
You're sharing and you're growing.
Yeah,
like,
you're sharing your cultures, your background, everything.
And I don't know if like people take a look at it, but you won't see a lot of couples that are like just one kind anymore. There's so many mixtures of cultures out there. You'll see a black and a white, an Arab with a Pakistani or Hispanic, half Hispanic, half Arabic with an Egyptian, Europeans with, you know, it's just a mixture of everything. I don't really understand that way of thinking. I hope that, you know, the older generation can change it a little bit or understand it. Because I feel like the future generations, we understand it because we live it.
We're living it.
I mean, I know so many of my friends are, you know, mixed, like an Egyptian married to a Pakistani/American, or you know, an Egyptian married to a Spanish, or a Jordanian married to a Paki, or anything. It's just there's so many different, you know,
Palestinian, Filipino. We know so
there's
many.
So many.
She's saying that her parents.
That's what I'm saying.
Have friends. No. Her parents have friends who are from like all over the world, but they don't want their daughter to marry somebody outside of the culture.
I know that, but
so they treat everybody equal as long as they're not racist.
Like the thing is with her parents, what it seems like, her parents aren't racist. Her parents aren't like
they just have their preference.
They just have their preference and they're very stuck in it. And the reasoning for their preference is because she wants to be friends with the in-laws, which I can see, because I can give examples of a Palestinian mom that wants to be friends with a Palestinian mom, right? They share same cultures, they same upbringing, but at the end of the day, we have to focus on is who's getting married. And then to go back to the second part of your question is how to convince your parents. In the world we live in, you can't convince anyone of anything. You just kind of have to show them.
Yeah.
I mean, you said they're friends with so many different cultures, so you can always bring that point up, that you're friends with so many different cultures. You get along with these people, right? Because you're friends with them. What's the difference between that? Ultimately, what makes you happy, and you're going to be with this person for the right reasons. So I feel like it's, instead of convincing them, which is going to be like hard, you're just going to have to keep showing them, giving them examples. Religiously, we get looked at through the media and everything as Muslims, as a lot of people fear us, etc., etc.
There's no need to make it harder on us.
Yeah, like why do we do that to ourselves? I don't get that. Like, for example, we get judged through the media, right? Why do we judge ourselves? Why do we say no? We need someone from this. If you find a good person, man, regardless of a guy or a girl, they're in the religion. That's golden already. Yeah, you have your preferences or whatever. But if the person getting married, the two people getting married, don't have a problem with it, everyone else should just chill and not care about it and just be happy.
The reason why I chose this topic to like have a conversation over was because I feel like this happens so frequently.
Oh yeah.
And not only does it happen so frequently, but it actually happened to me. When Muhammad came to ask for my hand, my dad was not happy with the idea that his daughter, his Palestinian daughter, was going to marry outside of culture. My dad had a preference, and he really, really wanted me to marry a Palestinian. And you know, all my life I knew this. Like, he would like openly talk about it, saying, "Omaya, you're going to marry a Palestinian." Like, I remember that growing up. And it's so funny because like once you tell your children you would only accept a certain, you know, culture or a certain religion or a certain tradition or a certain something, they feel trapped and feel like they have no options, which you know, most of the time it's true. And they tend to do the opposite. I didn't do it intentionally. I, you know, prepared myself to marry a Palestinian. Honest to God, I'm like, okay, I'm just, you know, gonna marry a Palestinian, that's it. But then Muhammad came into my life and I'm like, this guy is amazing. Like, wallah, like, you're so nice. No, but I just want to keep it real. Like, you're just so nice, you're so humble, sincere, just caring, like amazing. Shut up.
What else?
But you were just so nice, so down to earth, and you know, you have the deen in your religion, and you're like such a gentleman and funny. Like, there was just so many good qualities to pass on you. You know what I mean? And like, we got along great as friends. So, you know,
we were friends first.
Yeah, we were friends first. So we just got along so good. And you know, when Muhammad came and asked for my hand, my mom was like, "Oh my God, like, why would you fall in love with an Egyptian? You know your dad's not gonna be happy about it." And when you guys called to ask for my hand, my dad was like, "Oh, where are you from? Oh yeah? Oh, okay. Nah, not gonna happen." And
well, he didn't know, to give the guy credit. He didn't hang up on us. He invited us.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, long story short, he was not about it. I had to talk to him, and my brothers had to talk to him. Like, Dad, like, listen, like, just give him a chance. Like, we know that your preference is Palestinian, but just give the guy a chance. And after you meet him, just draw your conclusions right there. And alhamdulillah, after a lot of dua, I'm sure Allah helped me with that, but with a lot of dua and just, my dad, he's also open-minded. Like, I know I'm making it seem like he was like, "No way, Jose." Like, his preference is a certain thing. It also didn't mean that he was going to force me to marry, you know, Palestinian, because he's not like that. Yeah. Anyways, he ended up giving Muhammad and his family a chance, and they came over. And you guys, I kid you not, the moment that you guys came to ask for my hand, like, I don't know what you guys said. I honestly don't even know why, or I don't even know how. But I remember that once you guys left, my dad was like, I can't believe myself. Like this guy is a good guy, and his family are really nice. They're very humble. They're very respectful. They have good manners. And my dad, like, literally that day he just switched his mind. He's like, I can't believe I used to think about them a certain way. Like, they're actually really nice people, and I would like to get to know them better. And you know, after that, my dad was like okay with the idea of me marrying outside of my culture. And you know, it's funny because we're both Muslim. We both
Arab.
grew up.
And we're both Arab.
We're both Arab. We both grew up with
same beliefs, same everything.
Same everything. Like you were saying, like, you know, we have it bad enough that the media is talking so bad about Muslims. Like are we really going to make it worse on ourselves within our homes to not let, you know, to divide, like, oh no, you stay here, you marry with your culture, and let's not mix, like, we have it bad enough. Let's not do that within our homes.
What the problem is too is like why we have so much separation between the Muslim people, right? Is because we're not united. We don't have unity. Why do we look at it as cultures? And we're all one religion. We're regardless of religion and culture, as humans, we're all one.
Yeah.
I don't know why we just automatically. Separate. If I know where you're from, I have a certain way of thinking about you, or who you are, or how you act, instead of getting a chance to know you.
Yeah. The number one thing is to give people chances. Like, don't judge quickly. Don't think you know everything, because you don't. Just because you had one bad experience with maybe a certain culture, a certain country or something, that's just one bad experience. Yeah. You just have to give people chances. If there's no chances, then there's no, like...
There's no opportunity for growth.
There's no opportunity for growth. There you go. You got it. So guys, thank you so much for your questions. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any situational questions that you would want our input, go ahead and email me. I'll leave my email on the description box below, so it's right under this video. Please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't, and see you next time. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam everybody.
Bye.